Super Rugby round number 9, folks. A somewhat chunkier round after a light round over Easter, but some tasty looking fixtures. Like the Brumbies away to the Highlanders, that's tasty. A higher ranked side, but on the road. Likewise, the Crusaders over in Queensland. Number 1 and number 2, Blues and Hurricanes. Force and Drua trying to get themselves back in the playoff race. And Moana hosting the Chiefs looks to be more of a hiding, but we'll see. We'll go through the lineups, some predictions and stats. You guys can let us know your thoughts on how this round may be going to go. Highlanders and Brumbies. I say this one could be tasty because the Brumbies, they're in 4th. They were looking a little bit all-conquering earlier in the season, but the wheels have come off a little bit. It's been a little bit shaky. They've lost a few games. They are outside those top 3 spots, but the Highlanders are out of the top 6. So desperately need a win. And they're at home. If they're going to get a win over the Brumbies, you feel like home advantage is going to be massive for them. And they've got like the majority of their big guns available. The Highlanders, De Groot is starting. Ta'avau is starting. Lasanga is there at number 7. And he's been very effective, especially on the turnover. Cam Miller is at 10. He's going to pull the strings. He's been very reliable, especially with that boot of his. And the electric backs, the likes of Tavatawa Nawai at 12, who's got 45 defenders beaten, which for context is first, playing for a side outside the playoff spots. The next guy is Whanganuku with 37. The next guy after that's got 29. So the gap between Tavatawa Nawai and everybody else is quite extraordinary. He's such a wrecking ball. And then Tangitau, alongside the likes of Nareki, on the wings. Tangitau's just been so electric though, but they probably will have to do more with less. They have fewer carries than the Brumbies, less possession than the Brumbies. The Brumbies will try and grind them into the ground. The Brumbies, likewise, off the bye, likely to be reinvigorated and looking to get back on track. Charlie Cale is probably their guy to watch out for, as much as like Tavatawa Nawai is the guy for the Landers. It's Charlie Cale for the Brumbies. He's top equal try scorer with 9. He's got the most lineouts won of the competition. If you're playing Super Rugby Fantasy, he's the dream guy in terms of racking through the points. It's just everybody's got him in their side. So, yeah, Corey Toole is electric pace on the left wing. Him and Tavatawa Nawai on respective wings, facing each other, right wing against left wing. That could be an electric foot race if they ever are chasing a ball at the same time or chasing each other down. Muirhead's an offload king at fullback. The forward pack's got Ala Alatoa back. He's not played all season alongside James Slipper, so it's a veteran Wallabies prop and duo. Yeah, this game I'm really excited about on the Friday. The Brumbies are favourites away from home, but only ever so just. 3 points says the algorithm, and 1 point says the bookies. Second game is an early Saturday game. There's only the one game on the Friday. We're in Rotorua for the second game of the week. It's a 2:05 kickoff. So really early. Moana up against the Chiefs. This one's predicted to be the biggest result of the week by quite some way. Like every other game is kind of predicted to be at most like 10, 11 points. This one is 20, 30 points. Yeah, that's the prediction. Moana, unfortunately, like they got the big name veterans out like Laumapi and Julian Savia, but I think more than their big name presences, they're going to miss Alan Craig's tackling and the locks, and they're going to miss Tavita Offa, he's been one of the guys that you feel like might get pinched by somebody else at the end of the season because he has been really electric on the tack. They have got Semisi Tupou-Tailoa back at number 8, so that's a bit of good news. He is their guy to watch out for. Big carrying game. Real handful of a number 8 when he gets on the ball carry. They got Pulu and Garden Bishop, so it's a veteran 9-10 combo. Havili is the other playmaker at fullback, but Miracle Failangi's at 6. But yeah, as I said, they're massive underdogs, and the absence of Tavita Offa and Alan Craig is not going to help things. The Chiefs have rotated things around a bit, which maybe helps Moana. Like there's no Tokiaho, he looks to be rested. Imori Narawa, Nana Saturo are still on the injury list, but D-Mac is back. He's at 10. Ratsima's back starting at 9. Quintu Paia is probably their guy to watch because he has just been defenders beaten, carries, offloads, turnovers won. What do you want? He's been providing a bit of everything from that Chiefs midfield. Jerome Brown's going to get a start. Tyrone Thompson's going to get a start at 7 and 2, respectively. So, yeah, a few changes. Arkoi's starting alongside Tupovai, who is captain. Leroy Carter's back to the wing. But yeah, despite the changes, it's still a very, very strong looking Chiefs side. Like, Moana's got the lowest tackle percent of the comp, the lowest run meters. The Chiefs have got the most clean breaks, 3rd against 11th. It's probably going to be a hiding. 22 points, says the algo. 31 points, say the bookies. Not predicted to be close. Next afternoon game is a very tasty one in itself, with the Drua hosting the Force. It's a long journey, but they've only had to fly from Brisbane, I think. The Force, because they played their last game over in Brisbane where they got that cracking win over the Reds. That was a seasonally important win, an important win for their season for the Force, to get them potentially in the hunt. But they would need to beat the Drua really to kind of make a push and catch up to the chasing pack, which is the Highlanders, the Waratahs, who are just out of the top 6. The Force want to be in that conversation, but so do the Drua. The Drua could absolutely use a win at home. The Force coming to town is 10th against 9th. It's an absolute winnable game for both teams. This one, although it's not top of the table, is a vitally important game for both teams' seasons and should be a close game. The Drua first, because they're at home. They're still without a few guys. Logan Amasi is still injured. Lomani is still injured. Moana Vanua is still injured. They've got Sambusova Vodre back. He is in the midfield. They've got Murray starting at 7, and they've got is he a debutant? Basayalo on the right wing. 7s guy, so a Fijian 7s guy. I'm going to be looking out for him to see how he goes on the right wing. I don't follow enough 7s to know how he's going to go, but I'm excited to see another Fijian winger get a crack. Drua Sese moves to the left wing because Robitu is up from the bench to start at fullback. But despite all the sexy backs, it's going to need to be done up front because the Force are a side that likes to keep it tight. And like the Fijian and Drua got the worst lineup in the competition. They need to get the fundamentals right to allow those sexy backs to get their thing going. The guy to watch, I think, is in the forward back. Honestly, Thanakai Vata has been incredible. He's been a carrying machine. He'll be looking to get some go-forward ball for the Fijian forwards. For the Force, like I said, they got the least defenders beaten, the least clean breaks, but they score tries. You don't have to score tries with the kind of traditional X-Factor stuff. Rugby is a game which can be played in a multitude of ways. The Force have scored more tries than the Drua this season. So they're a side to watch out for, man. I mean, the lock, Franco Molina, got 3 of them last week against the Reds. One of them was a thing of beauty. That was sexy. The other 2 kind of more up the jumper, but however you get them, they all count the same. Jeremy Williams is back in the locks. That is a bit of good news. He is the captain. What a player to watch. Ben Donaldson. He's making a statement, like in terms of his intent for the Wallabies. He's the Super Rugby points leader this season with 66. The next best guy's got 57. So he is having quite the season. They'll need to get the scrum going. I think they were conceding a few too many penalties at scrum time last week. But I mean, they got Harry Johnson-Holmes on the bench. They got Marley Pearce on the bench. Sef Fangase is going to have to start this week because Tom Robertson's going to miss out with an HIA. The biggest bit of bad news for the Force, I think, is Darby Lancaster. He was kind of that X-Factor guy in the back line, but he is out with that ankle injury, which saw him leave the field early last week. But they do have Zach Lomax potentially in line for his debut from the bench. So he was supposed to debut last week, was a late scratching. Maybe this is the week that he gets it done. Predictions, the Drua are the favourites because home in Lautoka, they tend to do well. 1 point, though, with the algorithm. 5 points with the bookies. It is predicted to be tight. Maybe your game of the week is Hurricanes up against Blues. It's first against second. It's the most tries of the competition. Hurricanes against the best tackle percentage Blues. How does this one go down? I feel like the Blues injury list is a bit worse, especially in the forwards. We've still got no Paddy Tupulotu. We've still got no Hoskins Tutu. We've still got no Dalton Papali'i. I mean, the Hurricanes are without, Tyrell Lomax. Got no Balin Sullivan, but I feel like the Blues injuries up front anyway are cut a little bit deeper than the Hurricanes ones. But this should be a really, really interesting game because both sides have been accused of not having played enough big guns yet, the way the fixtures list has been going. Both sides coming off the bye. I do like the Canes pack, man. Numia, Aumua, Tosi. It's a big front row. Warner Durns has looked good in Super Rugby since coming over from Japan. Devin Flanders has been one of the standout Lucies of this competition. Karefi's co-captaining at 7. Lakai has been immense at 8. It's a good-looking forward pack. Roy Garden Love. Couple of all-back blacks at 9 and 10. But if you're looking for the player to watch, it is Whittingham on the left wing. My goodness, 9 tries, first for clean breaks, first for run meters. Dude has been incredible. The Hurricanes backline generally has been great. Morby, Harkin, Geordie, Billy Proctor, they've all been electric. The backline for the Canes has been just something else this season. The Blues will be doing well if they can keep them even partly quiet. I mean, the Blues have got some All Blacks themselves. I mean, Tu'ungafasi is there. Sam Derry captains the side. In the locks, we got Bowden Barrett, a veteran. You know, he's at the opposite end of the career scale against Ruben Love. He'd like to have a good game. Finlay Christie's going to start at 9. Caleb Clark has been doing like similar stuff to Whenanga Nofo. He's got 6 tries to fit. He's 9. He's second for clean breaks. For his first, he's got more defenders beaten. So it's going to be an interesting mix on the left wings. It's a shame you can't pick Clark for your fantasy team because he's not in that competition. But he'd be doing well if he was. But yeah, I do worry. Malachi Rampling, Anton Segner, and Shea Clark is maybe not at the same level that Canes back row is. We will have to wait and see. The Canes are favourites. 10 points with the algo and 8 with the bookies. Home advantage. Maybe a better injury looking list, but we will see. And then Reds up against Crusaders. 6th against 5th. The Reds fallen off a bit of a cliff since they lost to the Canes. 2 losses in a row. 2 bad losses in a row. Need to steady the ship. Especially with Les Kiss taking over the Wallabies. There's a bit of extra pressure on his Red side to do well. They've got no Josh Nasser, no Josh Canham, still no Tate McDermott, so the injury list is still relatively long for the Reds. Matty Fassler's going to start at hooker this week. Joe Bryle has been one of the good news stories. Fraser McCright continues to tackle the house down. Jock Campbell, just quietly, even though he did terribly for my fantasy team last week, has been solid at the back, man. He's right up there for run meters, defenders beaten and offloads. They have got some sexy stuff about them. Carter Gordon is at 10 for a second week in a row. Tim Ryan is up from the bench. He's getting a start alongside Dalgudu. They've got some attacking weapons in the side. And the Crusaders are without a couple of big guns. No Cody Taylor. No Will Jordan. Still no Braden Enor. They have got David Havili back. Noah Hotham's going to play this week. George Bell's going to start at hooker. Yeah, Lester Fangaruka's been an absolute wrecking ball at 13. But, yeah, without Jordan and without Taylor, that's a little bit of good news for the Reds, I suppose, that the Crusaders aren't quite as at full strength as they were last week. But, I mean, the Crusaders, they're great for run meters. They're great for defenders beaten. They're great for offloads. They have seemingly come right since a few early wobbles of their own this season. They have been getting a lot of yellow cards. The Reds have only had 3. I think the Crusaders have had like 8. So, yeah, if the Crusaders' discipline fails them, that will give the Reds a bit of an advantage. But the Reds are underdogs at home. 5 points, says the Rugby Forecast algorithm, and 4 points, say the bookies. But yeah, a full-on round this week. Tars are on the bye. They could use it because they need to get their house in order as well. But yeah, really interesting round. A bunch of games which look like they could go either way. You guys let us know your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already and want some more Super Rugby chat. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.